Alright, and this video is about an airbox. I've got the factory airbox here, as you see, and I'm going to modify it so it fits onto the base plate and onto the TB42 here, because at the moment I've just got a pod filter sitting on the holey 350, and so I've just got to modify this so it works. And the reason for doing this is I've had dusting issues for those filters, and I've had mud and stuff get on them as well, and it's a bit of a pain. You know, it's got a snorkel already on it, so why not use it, right? So I'm just going to modify this airbox, and this has a much larger surface area, this type of filter, for airflow than any of them other ones. So let me go ahead and I'll show you quickly, I guess, in there and then what I'm doing. Alright, so inside the engine bay, you can see where the snorkel pops out, like it's got this piece here connected to the snorkel which runs up the front, and I've just got to put the parts back on it, remove this this pod filter. This is good, it worked quite well, this one. It filters fairly well, but I still have to deal with like quite a bit of dust and when I'm forward driving and a bit of mud. So obviously this is what I'm going to do, is make it so that I can put a air filter into the factory, put a factory air filter into this. So my first port of call is I've got to clean this stuff up, and I'm also going to reconnect the factory breather, so I'll clean all of that up, and I guess that's my first job before I can even begin is to clean this up. Alright, so I've got some heavy duty brake cleaner here, degreaser, heavy duty degreaser, brake cleaner, and I'm just going to douse everything in it. I'm going to give it a good soak. So it's in relatively, well, it's just really dirty. Don't need that one anymore, better take you out. Alright, and for this is a breather element for the crankcase breather. I assume I got some K&N filter cleaner. That this should probably work for this, I reckon. Alright, and give that a few minutes and then wash it all off. Given it a few minutes, I guess I can start washing this out. Ooh, look at the crap coming out of there. Whoa. Oh wait, it's white. Is that the colour it's supposed to be? Whoa. Well, the K&N air cleaner stuff worked quite well. Don't believe it, it's white, sort of. Well, a lot better than what it was, that's for sure. And once I've given these all a squirt off, I have to set them aside to dry, I suppose. Alright, with these clean and dry, put this base plate on for this one of the air filters, and I've just got to make sure that everything's gonna miss. I mean, there's a few things here quite clearly you see I need to take off, but I just mainly want to make sure, because I've got to open that up, centralize that, and it'll sit over there, and if I had to shave that down, which I don't think I do. Oh yeah, no, it is gonna fit. It's just about getting this low enough. I mean, I can always get a new rod for the center, and then I've just got to make sure it misses the bonnet. But this doesn't actually look too hard to do. Surprisingly not as difficult as I thought. Yeah, so I guess I'll prep this base to start. Alright, one of the first things, very simple, is I'll take these clips off. It's just pop out like that, pretty basic, eh? And then what I've got to do is, see on the underneath of this, it's been bunged up a couple of times already. Someone's done a little bit of work on this, fixing some things. And this one's got a bolt in it. I'll have to sort that out. You see, a lot of these you'll see blanked off because that looks like supposed to be a pressure switch in there to be able to tell you when the air cleaner's blocked in the cab. But I think this is too old to even have that, so hey, maybe it's missing. I don't know what's going on there. These were to hold the vacuum lines on the other side of the carburettor, but things have slightly changed where they go, so they're no longer relevant. There's another part, I mean, I'll show you that later. This bit will be getting used. Oops, get these off. That one, I reckon. So I've modified this airbox a bit. I've had to cut some sections out, do a couple of little things, and I'm going to set it in place now and see if I can't figure out exactly where it's got to go, because I've got the other parts of the snorkel to attach, but I'm missing a bracket. But as you may realise, or this is the next day of this is gonna, being that it's custom work, this is gonna take ages because I've got to make sure everything clears, everything works, everything matches. Then I've got to make sure it's all sealed up. But in saying that, at least I've got this thing relatively clean. But yeah, alright, so we'll whack this in place and see if we can't make some sense out of this. Alright, and when doing this, this is quite important. Where this snorkel, this is a plastic section that attaches the snorkel when it comes out, goes through this piece here that you might think, why is that there? Anyway, apart from the fact that it has a water trap and a drain, but if you look in the end of it, let's see if I can get that under the light. If we look in the end of it, we see like a bunch of, like it's a baffle in there with fins. So the whole idea is, because this is carburetor fed, if you're driving high speed on the road, or driving at speed on the road, and it's pushing air into the top of the carburetor, that will knock the tuning out very quickly and the carby won't run properly. So this piece has to be in it. And so I've got all these from before. So I'll just attach it all, and for some reason I can't find that bracket. So I'm going to have to make one for there. Alright, let's do that. Alright, start making this bracket, I suppose. I found a piece of old grip mesh, I forget what it's called. Anyway, and that'll do. Make this bracket. Yeah, lucky I've got a vise, eh? Gonna sort of set it in position, mark out the points, the holes, because I've got to shape it so it fits. And I don't know if I have to bend it and shape it yet. I'll see how I go. I've got this here, and the anvil there, so I can shape that if needed. Yeah. Now I can't believe I'm having to make a new bracket. This is really annoying. Alright, let's do it. Gonna weld these nuts on so that you know, I just have to put the factory bolts. You know, I found all the bolts, just not the bracket. Weird. Anyway, so I'm gonna zap these on, and that'll be it. Just in 2 good spots, should be good for each one. I'll just cut these and trim all around the edges and make it look pretty. Alright, so now I've got all the brackets, all these good, everything's lining up. I've got to now Sikaflex this onto here, onto this. And to do that, we need to sand and rough up all the surfaces where the Sikaflex is going to go, because the Sikaflex bonds much better when it's been sanded. It'll give it something to grip onto. So now I'm going to go around. You know, I'm going to sand this where it's, you know, and in here where I think it's got to go. Then I'll place this back on there, fill the top up with Sikaflex, and then and put it in, and just keep sort of, you know, sticking a bit more in there using the nozzle. This can be a little bit tricky, but no, nothing I can't do. And being that I was going to mount this together with rivets or little bolts, depending on where everything's sat, but the rod goes through the centre here of the carby, holding it all together, so that's not necessary. I might have liked to do it, but sort of ran out of options of where you could attach it, so I'll just sand all this up, and then I'll give it a quick brake clean, wipe it all up. But, you know, fairly rough, nothing really amazing. You're not trying to smoothen it, you're just causing a rough edge for the Sikaflex to bond to, or to help bond. That is all ready to assemble now. Just remembering to block off any little spots, any holes. Being that this is gonna not really function as it would normally. I mean, the everything's connected but differently. I might as well go around this. I assume I'll use a whole tube for this. Looks like I'm going to use it all pretty quickly too. Alright, place that on the carburettor. A little bit messy. And make sure that's pretty central, which it is, which is great. Use this old filter to help hold it down. Put the lid on the top of the air filter, and I'll clamp that down nice and firmly. Just do this up like that for now. And let that set overnight. Alright, and so another day. See how this works, sealing this off. What I'm going to do is, now that that's set in place, quite good by the looks, I'll go through and check that it worked. I mean, sorry, not check that it worked. I've already checked that it worked, that it's sealed. But I'll go and touch up, make sure there's no extra little bits that need a bit more. Put some in there where I can reach and see. I think I might even put a tiny bit, I'll slow it right down, tiny bit all the way around the outside. See if it'll, yeah, kind of working it in as it goes. Alright, decided I'm going to give these a coat. I reckon 2 light coats. Not that I'm much of a painter, but I'll give it a go because there's a bit of bare metal showing, so I better prime it. Alright, all primed, and just going to cover it with some flat black. So I've got it here. This is the bracket I made up yesterday. Nothing crazy to begin with. Alright, first coat, and I've got to recoat this every 20 minutes. Yeah, every 20 minutes, do a couple of coats and see how that goes. Alright, with the parts all painted and cleaned up, should be ready now to assemble them. Putting the bracket that I've made on first, and just loose to start with. because I'll once I've got the air box together and on, then I can tighten it all up. And now comes the main part, which will slip into there over the top of the carburettor. Don't forget this little bit that I cleaned, which goes in here for the breather. That on, brand new air filter. Right. Filters on, parts are connected. Now put on all these little clips, which I assume are identical. Make sure that they're not separate lengths for particular areas. Don't look like it. No. Will look the same. That's right. You go on there like so, don't you? Right, with the new little bracket up the front there, the whole thing cleaned up. The base is all attached. Everything seems to be doing exactly what it should. And there are a couple of things missing that I need to go get. As you see here, got this little hose. I've got one somewhere for it. Goes from there to there. That way I can get rid of that. And the other part is I'm missing a hose, big hose clamp, so I'll go get that. And I might see if I can find some new washers and seals for the top of that carby lid. But yeah, otherwise that's it. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching this video, and it was like a 3-job ordeal for me. Not that I got to spend that much time on it, but as you can tell, it probably took a while. You know, it's going to be nice not having, you know, to go through a heap of dust or something and not get a dusted air filter, being that it's taken its air from up in the snorkel. I no longer have to worry about mud splatting onto the air filter, so I've resolved a few things with that. Yeah. Good. I can't wait to use it, try it out, see how it goes. I'm going to take it for a drive now and see if I can find those other bits and pieces. But otherwise, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll aspire to see you in the next one. Cheers.